Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to your very own Try It Before You Buy It channel with your host Karamullah Kadwani. Today is going to be all about Amal, Hope from the house of Fredrick Malle. A lot of anticipation towards the release of this fragrance and intrigue as to what it will be like. We shall unfold that today, as not many reviews on the scent so far. But before we do that, if this is the first time you're tuning into my channel or still haven't subscribed but enjoy fragrance reviews, price points and alternatives where possible, in my humble opinion, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notifications bell so you do not miss another video. Hope by Fredrick Malle is an oriental woody fragrance for women and men. This is a new fragrance. Hope was launched in 2024. The nose behind the fragrance is Dominique Roupillon. Top notes are juniper, pink pepper. Middle notes are oud, smoke and vetiver. Base notes are amber and leather. Hope by Fredrick Malle is a fragrance from the Desert Gem collection created by the perfumer Dominique Roupillon. The scent emulates the rising feeling of determination and jubilation, infused with a delicate dance of juniper, oud and amber. It flourishes into a luminous cloak of smoke and leather, making for an opulent indulgence. Created by Dominique Roupillon for the Desert Gems collection, Hope fragrance exalts the nobility of an exceptional oud essence. They say that it's the pillar of the world. Others whisper about it giving life. Hope has always been right there at the heart of humanity. The third masterpiece by Dominique Roupillon for the Desert Gem collection, Hope, is an amber and woody fragrance that highlights the absolute nobility of an exceptional oud essence. The smoky, leathery notes of incense and vetiver mingle with the spicy freshness of pink peppercorn, cypress and juniper to reveal oud in all its purity, a scent of unparalleled elegance. Oud, vetiver, incense, I'd say, are the star notes of the composition. But before we get into detailed overview of this one, I'd like to rant a little on the brand and where it's heading to after the Estee Lauder deal. You had Acne Studios. I will try to do a review of that one as well for your benefit, as I don't think it's worth the moolah. Rumors had it earlier of a deal of some sorts that Fredrick Malle was to be acquired by one of the bigger conglomerates, but Fredrick Malle cleared the air by stating he'd never step down from the brand. This was a couple of years ago. Just to give you an idea, I do have all the scents under the Desert Gems collection, and unless someone gives this one to me, I don't think I'd go for it. Might as well buy some of their previous releases before Estee Lauder destroys them by reformulations, if I may. To say the least, Fredrick Malle was actively promoting Acne Studios, even though he had stepped down after the acquisition earlier this June. There was a kind of a credibility around the release, that is Acne Studios, for me at least. But upon first testing it, I questioned myself if this was truly the end of the brand, like many others acquired by these bigger conglomerates. No one has been named as his successor as of yet to the brand. He was unceremoniously allowed to step down with the 25th anniversary approaching. Come 2025, you have the 25th anniversary of Fredrick Malle, which only adds to speculations on the circumstances of his departure. Ideally, there should have been some kind of a send-off celebration, at least gradually stepping down, maybe post the 25th anniversary, but that's not the case. Hope, by the way, I'm talking about Hope, just to show you, I did not acquire the bottles. I did not want to buy the perfume without first having tested it. This is Amal. I hope it's able to kind of focus. But yeah, that's Amal from the brand of Fredrick Malle. I have a sample. I have, as a matter of fact, 2 samples for Amal. And I also sprayed Amal at the boutique. That is the tester, and if I may, I'm not sure if it's going to kind of focus, and plus I've kept a few things that I wanted to discuss with you because it's been some time I haven't shared, if you may, my thoughts on atomizers are great, and the scent is okay. We shall discuss in detail what the scent is like, and I shall discuss in detail what these bottles are all about. When Hope was released, it was exclusive to Harrods. I mean, I was really itching to get a bottle, but at the rather hefty price tag, I decided to wait till September. When it kind of arrived in the boutiques here in the United Arab Emirates, I can only thank God for not blind buying this one, as I can probably allocate my funds to black lacquer from the house of Tom Ford, which has a little more promise, as it's been coined as a comeback to form for the house of Tom Ford. Can't wait to bring you my overview for that one, and that is, I think, going to make it to the boutiques on the 24th of September, hopefully, inshallah. Let's get back to reviewing this one though. Well, after this release, I can say that the future's bleak, and I can see the many other releases that are to follow, to say the least. Cash grabs from the glory days of Fredrick Malle is perhaps the direction his house is going to go down in. However, before completely annihilating the house, let's quickly get into letting you know a little about the fragrance you're here for. Amal, that is translated in English, Hope. This is Dominic Rupion's third release in the Desert Gems collection out of the 10 he's already done for the house. He was dragged all the way to London for this particular release, as Fredrick Malle himself did not promote this one. To say the least, the pricing on these, i.e. the Desert Gems collection, are outrageous as it is. But the earlier four, I have no regrets of purchasing full bottles at full retail. The Night, the Moon, the Dawn, and Promise, as per my order of preference. So that was my ranking as well included. Pure oud, oils and attars are their own domain. But from these, the Night itself having a 10% oud concentrate, and sources have it that they have used 3 different kind of ouds for the Night, and it speaks volumes for the fragrance. Here they have for the first time used oud from Thailand, which is slightly sweeter and does not have the animalic like facets like the oud that's used in the Night. It has mixed reviews from the get-go, which tempered my expectations, which might have been a blessing in disguise to start with. The first time you spray this one, it immediately reaffirms its pedigree and does belong to the Desert Gems collection without a shadow of a doubt, because it very much plays in the same sandbox of being dry, woody, oudy, smoky, dusty and ambery signature of the Desert Gems collection, made with IFF materials, where all the 3 perfumers work who've worked on this collection. So from the get-go, if you do not like the Desert Gem collection, you're certainly not going to be liking this one, or you're not going to be a fan of this one. There is a hint of fruity freshness with some juniper and vetiver in the opening. The experience with spraying it on skin though is where it's all at. Spraying it on the test strip doesn't bring out the oud at all. But on skin is where the oud from Thailand really announces itself immediately after the very short fruity freshness opening within the first 2 to 3 minutes. The oud here, as mentioned above, is of a different kind from the oud that you'll find with the others from the same collection. It has sweeter, smoother tobacco with shisha-like undertones. The oud does not carry till the end though. That's a regret that I have. We have slight florals like nuances from jasmine, and although not listed, there is a hint of rose being used here, to my nose at least. Some incense comes in as well that may be contributing to the smoky like feel, and not that of burnt ashy tobacco like smokiness. It is rather like a gentle slow burning smoke that arises from the shisha with the coals like up top. for a smoother experience. The one beef that I have with this one, it so reminds me of Promise, but like without that fermented, extremely green like apple that you get with Promise. I do love Promise, don't get me wrong. It is a bombastic, sarcastic, if that's a thing, sarcastic, fermented apple calvados like experience, and a kind of a cypriol bomb with some rose and patchouli. But with Promise, you have the cypriol and castoreum combined with the dry woody ambers that keep pushing the projection and longevity to an overbearing level well into the dry down and beyond, which some may not appreciate. In some way, I could say that Hope kind of improves on Promise. It is not as loud, dry, or intrusive as Promise. Does not have the fermented apple facets or castoreum either. It may have a small amount of cypriol, but much toned down, unlike Promise. Promise does not have any real oud, but may have different synthetics, aroma chemicals, if you will, and musks that may trick you into thinking there's some oud in the composition. Also, a thought that comes to mind is that that itself may be toning down some of the other facets. What I'm trying to say is there's real oud in this composition, and that could be kind of a reason why the cypriol does not outshine the other materials used here. The oud, though pronounced, does bid farewell after the first 3 to 4 hours, give or take. Well into the dry down, the oud plays as a second fiddle. That may also not be the desired experience if you come in thinking oud would be a star note. The incense, though, makes it well into the dry down and lasts, landing into the ambery woody dry base. Cypress is not prominent as well. I was hoping I'd have the pine tar like green eucalyptus pastoral Christmas tree burning kind of fire-like nuances that would definitely make this relevant in the conversation, bringing interest to the composition. Perhaps something Fredrick Malle would have wanted to see with this release. Rather, it goes in a very linear and predictable direction with the oud like ambery, dry base, smoky direction, which kind of puts me off. Finally settles down to a woody, earthy, tarry, leathery vetiver and amber. If you smelled Fumidus, I think the house is Profumum Roma. If you smell Fumidus from that house, or Incident Diplomatique from Jovoy, that's what the dry down feels like. And comparing the pricing, it's a no-brainer, as this one is handled in a similar fashion. However, the concept and construction may differentiate it from others within the Desert Gems collection. At the very core, there is a sense of gentleness and tranquility. The imagery you get with this one is that of a solitary flame in a seemingly desolate, harsh environment. Having said that, there is a familiarity with the wearing experience, reminding you of the dawn. Just the wearing experience. I'm not saying that they smell similar. Overall, not outstanding as per my nose, and won't be a standout release by Malle. A possible redundancy, although well made, barely making it acceptable to the Fredrick Malle standards that they have set for themselves. If pricing was same as the Promise, I would have definitely went ahead and purchased it, and would have may perhaps been worth purchasing for you. But at the price point and having all the other Desert Gems collections, I really don't think I'd venture into this one. Just my 2 cents. The reason why you see all the bottles lying here is I wanted to discuss my scent of the day, number one, or rather my scents of the day, because I do like layering my scents where I need to have a desired effect. The one thing that I've always said on this channel is I love the note of patchouli, and so you have Coromandel by Chanel. This is the body oil, if you will. So you kind of open the bottle like so, and then you take a few drops and rub it to the desired areas. I usually do it to the back of my head and my forearms, like because my sleeves are usually fold, I kind of oil myself up front so I get a good base right after a shower. As if you spray perfumes right immediately after a shower, your skin may not be apt in retaining the fragrances. Coromandel, again, a patchouli based fragrance scent, and perhaps one of my most beloved fragrances. What you see here is Danger, Pour Homme Parfum, by the house of Mr. Roger Dove. And there is a reason why I have all these here. You have Zeno by Davidoff, Fougère Amber, if I may. You have Danger, the Parfum Cologne, which I like layering my scents to get the best of longevity, coverage, projection, etc. So the Parfum Cologne is more ethereal, is more airy than of course the Parfum Concentration of Danger, and I do layer those together. We have Patchouli by the house of Reminiscence. Do look at the color of the juice. It's like, oh, I'm such a sucker for the color. I mean, I love the dark kind of the juice that comes in. Why I've kept this here is because either this or Psychedelic from the house of Jovoy. Psychedelic from the house of Jovoy, touted as perhaps the best fragrance from the house of Jovoy, and also one of the best patchouli scents that money can buy. You have Heritage by Guerlain. This is the Eau de Parfum. I did not get the Eau de Toilette. Just a spoiler alert, I have or I intend on rather acquiring Heritage by Guerlain, the EDT version from 1993, and that should be on its way, but might take some time shipping because finding it was a struggle. Now that I have confirmed all the batch codes and everything, I should be ordering it soon, inshallah. So scent of the day for the past 3 or 4 days since I've acquired it is Pardon by the house of Nazamato. And check out the color of the juice here as well. It's kind of has a green tinge to it. Kind of interesting. Pardon is my signature scent for the past couple of days and shall remain so. So I have acquired 2 bottles of these, and I usually layer Psychedelic or Reminiscence Patchouli with Pardon to kind of accentuate the patchouli, if you may. Chocolate cake like patchouli fragrance. I've started getting into the house of Nazamato. I don't have a big collection as of yet. This is Duro by the house of Nazamato, and it's a woodsy leather kind of a masculine. I do like this one as well. That's it for my reviews, my 2 cents on Hope for today. I have given you a heads up on what's coming soon, so I wanted to have all the fragrances within the same sandbox, if you will. Heritage by the house of Guerlain 1993 had about 26 notes. Danger Pour Homme Parfum, which has been definitely has been an inspired creation by Mr. Roger Dove, with about 22 materials he's worked with in that fragrance. Pardon, according to me, reminds me of Heritage. Don't quote me on this, but that's what my nose gets. And so I wanted to have Zeno Davidoff. I wanted to have all the perfumes within. The only one remaining is the vintage bottle of Guerlain Heritage, and so I will be able to be able to bring to you an overview and perhaps perfume review, if you will, on all the fragrances mentioned just now. Do let me know your thoughts. Also let me know if you already have Hope. I don't know if I can call it a gem, but in your arsenal, or if you're at least interested in giving it a try after watching this review. Do give me a thumbs up. If you take anything of value from this, keep your smelling game on, as I've always said. Do share your experiences and don't forget to comment. Feel free to ask me any questions and I'll try to answer them to the best of my capability. Until the next time, your host Karamullah Kadwani signing out.